Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of my favourite Switch games so far, and with the release of the final DLC character for Fighters Pass 1, I feel it's a good time to share my thoughts as to who I want to see added to Smash in the next batch of DLC. First things first, I want to make some things clear very quickly. I thought the first DLC pack was pretty good. Joker's amazing, Banjo's cool, Hero isn't that bad, I couldn't care less about Terry, and I'm actually kinda happy that Byleth was added. I don't want to see Geno or Goku or Tingle added, and we all know that Waluigi is never getting in. Also, these are my own personal opinions as to who I want to see, not necessarily who I think will actually get in, and this list is not going to be in any particular order. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's start with an honourable mention. Rayman is a character I know a lot of people are wanting to be added, and I understand why people love this character. Unfortunately, I have a couple of problems with him being added. One, yes, I said that the likelihood of getting him won't be a factor in this, but it's unlikely that he will be added due to his ties with Brawlhalla. 2, whilst I hope he gets in because he's a cool character, I'm unsure as to what exactly his moveset would be like. Maybe it's just because I've only played the modern Rayman games, but I have no idea what moves he would have. Maybe he could use the mosquito guy and the flying blue punches, but other than that I really wouldn't know what to add. But if he does get in, I have no doubt that Sakurai would make him really fun to use. Okay, with the honourable mention done, it's time to talk about the final choices. Minecraft is one of the most recognisable and popular games of all time. It's no surprise that lots of people are already talking about the main character Steve having a good chance to join Smash. There are already countless videos speculating about the moveset that Steve might have, and all the moves described seem very interesting and fun to use. With Minecraft being the kind of game that it is, there are countless options for moves ranging from swords, bows, tridents, water buckets, potions, redstone contraptions, the list goes on. And I think that any combination of these moves would be great to use in the game, but above all, it would be amazing to see Minecraft be represented in Smash, especially due to its immense impact on games as a whole. There isn't much more to say about Steve that hasn't already been said about a billion times, so I think it's time to talk about a much more obscure character. I was one of the few people that actually owned a PS Vita. I think it was an incredible system that was extremely underrated. If you've ever owned one, you'd be aware of one of the best games on that system, Gravity Rush. The fundamental mechanic of the game is that the main character, Cat, has the ability to manipulate gravity to perform a variety of gravity-based moves. I think this would be amazing to add to Smash, and the general gravity mechanic would be incredibly fun to use. However, from what I played, there isn't a whole lot of attacks, which makes figuring out a moveset a little bit difficult. Sure, there's a basic kick combo, the flying kick, the whirlwind type thing, and so on, but I don't know how many other moves there are and if it would be enough to make an interesting moveset. This being said, the Smash team might have to come up with some cool moves to go alongside the pre-existing ones, and I'm not sure how popular of an idea that would be with the people working on the game. But if they do manage to make Cat's moveset interesting and unique, she would be an excellent addition to the game and would make more people aware of the excellent Gravity Rush series. It's no secret that I love the Monster Hunter franchise. I've sunk hundreds of hours into these games and I plan to play for many, many more. Being such a big fan of the series, it's no surprise that I would be unbelievably happy if they were to add Monster Hunter to Smash. First of all, it doesn't have to be a generic Hunter character. It could be any of the cool Hunter type characters of the series past. The Master of Style, the Caravaneer, the Ace Commander, or really any of the Ace Hunters would all be excellent choices. But I feel that adding a generic Hunter in would be much more likely, so let's go with that idea. Alright, let's talk about the moveset. First of all, the kick is very iconic, so that has to be added as part of the jab. Tilts and aerials can be moves from any of the weapons, such as a side swipe from longsword or a poke with a lance. As for special moves, neutral B could be a shot from a bowgun or gun lance, side B could be a long combo for longsword or this flurry of attacks from the dual blades, up B could be a launch upwards from an insect glaive, and so on. Alternatively, a system using notes from a hunting horn could be really cool. Perhaps each special move is assigned a note, and if a sequence is carried out you could gain a buff, similar to Shulk's but more powerful as it's harder to do. I don't know how exactly this would work or how to balance it, so this is just a rough idea. Smash attacks could be basically any powerful move from the game. Think hammer and greatsword charges. Lastly, the final Smash should be a callback to the days of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. 4 players would line up and unleash the Ultra Charge Blade attack simultaneously. Overall, I think this character would be really fun, and not just another sword character as some people might fear, thanks to Monster Hunter's wide range of unique weapons. Also, he has a great chance of getting in, seeing as Raphlos is already a boss in the game. Anyway, on to the next character. Oh, you thought I was done talking about Monster Hunter? Come on, this is one of my videos. Of course I'm going to find an excuse to talk about this game more. Yes, seeing Hunter being added would be amazing, but I think a more interesting choice would be the Palico. These cats have a huge amount of attacks and abilities that could be used as great moves in Smash. His jabs, tilts and standard aerials could be the standard hammer and sword attacks, such as his flying leap as a forward aerial. But things start to get a bit more interesting when speculating the special moves. Neutral B would be the iconic boomerang and could be held for longer to release a bigger and more powerful attack. Side B and up B would both include the Palico rocket. For side B, the rocket would function as a projectile, similar to how Villagers works, and for up B, this would launch you straight upwards and explode if it hits a solid object or another fighter. As for the down B, I thought we could use the Unleash the Beast skill from the Generations games. This turns the Palico into a raging, melee-focused powerhouse. This would swap all the previously mentioned special moves with melee-focused abilities. This change would have a cooldown so you can't just keep constantly swapping moves. I hope this would balance it in a way, but don't know how balanced this concept would be when actually adding it to the game. Regardless, I would love to see either Hunter or Palico be added to Smash, as the Monster Hunter games are among some of my favourites of all time, and having a representative in Smash is one of the best ways to celebrate an amazing franchise. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was a game that I have mixed feelings about. The story and world are immersive, and I was even one of the few people that actually enjoyed the combat. Unfortunately, the game suffers from sudden and jarring difficulty spikes when coming to bosses, which, whilst common in most RPGs, still infuriate me a lot. But putting all that aside, the characters are, for the most part, really great in my opinion, except for Tora, and I think that any of them would be good to include in Smash. But come on, if we're going to include one of them, it may as well be Rex. He's a character that a lot of people have been asking for, and I think his moves have the potential to be some of the most diverse in the whole game. I envision him being a sort of Pokemon trainer type character in that you can switch out his blades to change his attacks. However, unlike Pokemon trainer, it would be the character in the background changing and just Rex's weapon changing in the foreground. Without spoiling too many of the game's blades, these could range from Rock's dual swords, Poppy's drill thing, and of course Pyro's greatsword. The weapon arts in the original game are varied and could easily help to comprise a lot of the moveset. The different weapons would make Rex more than just another sword character, and with the release of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition right around the corner, adding him to Smash would be the perfect way to build hype around the series. For this last character, I wanted to add someone from an indie game. I thought about all the great ones I've played, Celeste, Downwell, Moonlighter, Crypt of the Necrodancer, but none had a more perfect character, or shall I say set of characters, to add to Smash than Shovel Knight. Yes, I know there have been a lot of people talking about adding Shovel Knight himself to the game, but I think that combining all 4 playable knights together would result in a more dynamic and fun to use moveset. What we'd do is use Shovel Knight as a base and add all the other knights' moves to his moveset. First of all, it is imperative that we add Shovel Knight's iconic downward shovel spike. This would work similar to Link's, but would send Shovel Knight a bit higher in the air after successfully landing one. His jab would be some basic shovel swipes, and his side tilt would be Spectre Knight's Scythe Slash. His up tilt could be some sort of shovel poke like he does at the start of a stage. His aerials could be variations of these kind of moves as well. For special attacks, I included more elements from the other knights. Neutral B would be throwing Plague Knight's flasks. Side B would be King Knight's Shoulder Bash, which would bury the opponent in the same way that Donkey Kong's Side B works. And down B would be one of Shovel Knight's equipable abilities, such as the Fireball. Up B would use Spectre Knight's mid-air dash. It would send you straight upwards, and if it passes through another fighter, would launch you much higher and drag the other fighter down, similar to how Byleth's Up B works. Overall, I think that Shovel Knight on his own would be a good character, but combining all of the main characters would make him so much more unique and fun to play. So, that was my wishlist for the next set of Smash DLC characters. If you made it this far into the video, I'd be interested to hear what you think about my choices, and I also want to know who you'd like to see added to Smash. Also, I may decide to stream Smash Bros in the future, so if you want to be part of those live streams, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be notified as to when I'm streaming. We also have a Finn and Jez Discord server, which you can access by clicking the link in the description. Anyway, with all that said, thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.